Is she coming? Brilliant. Oh, thank you, Claire. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. Yeah, how's your day been?
Yeah, good. We've done a bit of driving today, and we've parked up in a nice kind of dog car park, like where people, we like the dog walking car parks. We've got like a lovely, well, not anymore because it's dark, obviously, but fields all around us. It's really nice. So,
Fantastic.
yeah, yeah. How about you? How was your day?
A very busy one today. Wednesdays are my, teaching day right the way through. So, yeah.
Oh, you must be tired then. Oh, thank you for joining me.
No, you're more than welcome.
Oh, and we've got a couple of people that have joined us. That's great. I was doing some stuff on my stories, like join me at 8 with Claire. So I think some people know what to expect. But just a bit of an introduction. So Claire is a customer of mine, and we also have another business that we kind of both do. And we're both teachers, so we've got some things in common. And I don't think anyone would guess that you are in your menopause, Claire, because you look amazing.
Thank you.
But you have maybe like 6 or 7 of the panty liners, I think. So can you start off by telling us, we'll just jump straight in if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Tell us why you have so many panty liners and what you use them for.
Okay, so the panty liners I've got from Emma. I ordered from the Jup Etsy site. I've got 7, maybe 8 now, I think. And basically, so that I've always got they're always clean ones, fresh ones in the drawer. Yeah, so I use them every day, every single day.
So why have you got to use them every day?
Okay, now here's the thing.
Do tell us if you're happy to share.
We're going to be very open and share.
Yeah.
When you start hitting the menopause, and basically regular periods start to stop. And although that might seem quite, oh, thank goodness for that, it can be that occasionally you will get not quite a normal period, but quite a lot of the time you get spotting. But because they're not regular, you don't know when it's going to happen. So I cannot wear tampons anymore because the flow just isn't enough, basically, to be really blunt. Yeah. And it's really uncomfortable when, to use tampons when you're not actually having a proper period.
Yes, they're difficult to take out if they're dry, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, really uncomfortable. So that was the reason I was using basically panty liners every day. And then obviously I found the ones through Jup and decided to give them a go.
Oh, that's brilliant. So, okay, so you were using disposable panty liners before anyway?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so what made you decide to kind of make the switch to reusable? Do you want to tell us about what attracted you to that?
Yeah, so for quite a while I have been really conscious about cutting down on waste and making a real effort to reduce my impact on the world, on the planet. And when my son was little, we used reusable nappies.
Oh, great.
And then I was still using, like years later, disposable sanitary wear. And in actual fact, I was finding that, first of all, my skin down there was getting really, really irritated. And I think it's probably to do with the chemicals that you used in the process. So I then went on to sort of organic products. I think TOTM, I was using time of the month. And then there's another.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
It's a product. It's a company called TOTM, and it stands for time of the month, obviously.
Okay.
And it's I think their products are organic. They don't use the bleaching agents and things like that.
Oh, I see.
And
okay.
yeah, so it's it's basically a slightly more ethical sort of disposable sanitary towel.
Yeah.
And also there's one called Natracare as well. But unfortunately, I found that going for these more natural products meant that they disintegrated quite
Oh,
quickly.
really?
And yeah, so they didn't. I mean, I wear the disposable, the reusable panty liners. I have one in, and it's there all day, and I don't
Yeah.
need to change it because it's not a heavy flow.
Yeah.
But if I'm wearing, or when I was wearing the others, I was finding that I was getting through 2 to 3 a day, even if I had no spotting or anything, just because they wear and they start to disintegrate and they become uncomfortable. And actually, it becomes quite expensive when you're
Yeah.
wearing
Yeah.
it every single day. So, you know, because we all know that going for, excuse me, going for a more ethical product, you do tend to pay more. And I was happy to pay that. But it seemed to me that I wasn't getting an upgrade in quality. So I
Yeah.
was looking for other things. Yeah.
I'm so surprised that they were disintegrating. That's pretty bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's so interesting that they were actually irritating you before you said about it maybe being the bleaching, which it well could be, because that's what makes them so white. Well, over tampons anyway,
Yeah.
they use chemicals and bleaching to make the tampons appear white. So perhaps that's in the panty liners as well. And also there's lots of plastic in there as well.
Absolutely.
So just the materials that it's made of, yeah, that makes sense. Again, if you're wearing, maybe you don't notice that on your period, but wearing them every day, I guess over time,
Yeah, definitely.
creates more irritation. That's so interesting. So can you, if you don't mind, can you tell us more about what happens when you're on your menopause? So you said about getting spotting. Does anything else leak? What else is the panty liner captain
Bluntly, yes, it does. So now I don't know whether this is related to menopause, because I don't know whether every single person has this, but certainly my experience
Okay.
is that I have a slight bit of bladder weakness, basically.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
using the panty liners, that actually, I mean, the Jup ones, I found that really, really helps. It helps me stay fresher, because I have the panty liner in all day and then I change it, and you know, sometimes I have one in overnight. If I know I'm spotting, I'll put one in overnight, but quite often I don't have them overnight.
Yeah.
But basically, really, to be really, really blunt about it, if I don't have one in, I have to wash my trousers more often.
Wow.
Because
Okay.
it's not like loads and loads, but you know, it's just not very pleasant. You know,
No.
if it's gone through your pants, it's enough to just like wet that slight dampness on
Yeah.
the pants. And then that obviously is going on to my jeans that I pretty much live in jeans.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it helps just keep everything a little bit more fresh.
Definitely. So it's obviously enough liquid to go through your knickers.
Yeah.
So do you find that the panty liners, so the panty liners that I make have just the one layer of towel and then umbrella fabric underneath that to kind of prevent it from leaking further? And that's obviously sounds like it's providing enough protection for everything that's coming out.
Yeah, for me at the moment, that's absolutely it. It's providing enough. It's not complete loss of bladder control, so it's not
Sure.
not
But
like
still,
I need an adult nappy, but it's enough.
great to talk about, because I have no idea what happens.
Yeah,
So, you know, I don't know how
yeah,
much it is, and maybe other people experience the same as you, or maybe that they get more
yeah,
bladder weakness,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, absolutely. And that, I think, the combination of the umbrella fabric, and the obviously the layer of protection that you put on the top, that's enough for me. I did actually try out a couple of normal reusable sanitary towels, and firstly they were really expensive. Secondly, they were made from fleece and I think microfiber, which neither are particularly good, neither are particularly environmentally friendly.
Oh.
And then they were really thick, quite
Yeah.
bulky, and because they were fleece, again, I'm being very open
Quite
here,
warm.
quite warm.
Yeah.
And actually, that's not what you want.
No, yeah, that's so true. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder why that company's using fleece. Perhaps it's meant to be very
I
absorbent, you
think
know.
it's the absorbency.
Yeah.
But they're basically the ones I now keep as my spares. Then they're my backup just in case I've run out of yours.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy that mine are working for you. It's so great. I mean,
Yeah.
I wear mine for lots of different reasons as well. Like if I'm ovulating and there's discharge coming, or as well as like at the end of the period. So there's stuff, just when you want to protect your knickers, basically.
Yeah,
If you're wearing,
absolutely. That's what it is, isn't it?
if you
Yeah.
like all your knickers, you don't want to ruin any of them, do you? So it's so good, Claire. So can you tell us about, so you were telling me before, we've had a chat about this before, and you were telling me about needing to wear them a bit differently, because if it's urine coming out, that's obviously in a different place to where the spotting is happening. So can you explain how you're wearing them in order to catch all the liquid, that's all the bodily fluids?
So there's nothing like being open on a live, is there? Basically, all I find that I do, I now just wear them a bit further up, so towards the front, because because the protection I need is both from the spotting, and it's not like it's major blood, it's just a little bit. In actual fact, I find just moving them further up my pants towards the front, it works perfectly. It's not a huge amount, so it doesn't feel like uncomfortable or anything. It's just taking into account yeah
and that's so good. So, and it stays in place still.
Yeah.
Do you think that I should make them a bit longer so that you didn't have to do that, should I make a just for menopause pad, do you think, or is it doing the job really?
I would be happy to trial it for you.
Well, there you go. Because what I'm thinking is so maybe I'll get some to show people on here. You can kind of see the difference in size, because you've only seen the panty liner in person, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah.
So this is the panty liner in a nice pirate design, which I was kind of hiding for a bit, because I would like keeping for myself, because I was like, well, that's a bit, I don't know, morbid.
I love it. I think that's hilarious.
Like, oh no, you shouldn't hide that. I like that.
No.
So now I'm making them, so that's available. So that's the panty liner size. This is the biggest size, so you can kind of see how much bigger it is, front and back. I guess the back, you don't need any protection there, but what I'm thinking I could do is, because I've already got the template obviously for that, or I could adjust it slightly, but not put the 3 layers of towel in, which is what it has at the moment. Just put the one in, and then that can be a larger,
because
for
actually
in your stage.
Even if you go and have a look at panty liners in the stores, they come in you can get is it tanga ones, which are meant to be worn with a G-string.
Oh my god!
They go right in at the back.
Wow.
You can get ones with wings, you can get ones without wings, and you can get the extra long ones as well. So it might be worth having a look at.
A different size. So I could look into that. Maybe I should research more. I mean, there's so many different possibilities. I don't want to have like too many differences that I then have to kind of produce, because it's just me making them. But I think I've had like somebody else buying them for their menopause, so it might be kind of more of an area that people are looking into. I guess you've not come across, when you were looking for the alternative to your natural one that you were buying, the natural materials one, were you finding like specific menopause panty liners that were reusable, or you were just kind of looking for, obviously you found me somehow?
So I was literally just looking for reusables, and just panty liners, because what I was using before in disposables, they were just normal panty liners. They weren't anything like your kind of tenor lady kind of thing. They were just normal panty liners. So that's all I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. How did you find me? Was it because we had connected through
Yeah, I think
the
we
other way?
connected through, it could have been, was it Eco-Friendly Henry and the Sustainable Saturday
Oh, is that
meetup?
how you found me?
I
Okay,
think that
maybe.
might have been.
There you
And
go. Shout out to her.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So when I had a look at the things you produced and the ethos behind it, it actually all fitted with what I was looking for. And the fact that, okay, if you go onto Etsy and have a look for reusable sanitary wear, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people selling them and making them. There are loads. But I honestly think that you have something quite unique because of the reclaimed textiles that you have. So you're not just selling something that's reusable, you're selling something that's been like recycled already. And that just fits in with everything that I stand for as well.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
But
Thank you
you're
for
not,
that.
yeah. And it's not, you're not compromising on quality either. That's what I really, really want to sort of get across to people, is something that's, made from reclaimed textiles. You might think, oh, I want the really new stuff. Actually, the quality that I found is better. It's far more comfortable, and there's absolutely no compromise there on the quality aspect.
Oh, thank you, Claire. That's great. Whilst we're on that, then I'll just ask. This is not specific to menopause, but just as you brought that up, because I do sometimes worry about saying to people, yeah, it's made out of textile waste. So I do use that word reclaimed, because people kind of like that, because the word waste does have some bad connotations, doesn't it? Or especially, I mean, like this one that I just showed, nobody has used that fabric. It's just an offcut from another project, which is often what it is. But sometimes, like this fabric is from somebody's duvet set, but it doesn't look worn to me at all. I think it was probably her child's, and they just didn't like it. It honestly looked new, and obviously it's been washed and everything. So, but sometimes when I explain it to people, you just don't know what they're thinking. Like, oh well, I don't want somebody's, bed sheet in my knickers. How do you? But I don't care, because I can see that it's clean. Do you know what I mean? And that it's hardly being used, because people throw out stuff if they just don't like it anymore. Not actually because it's old, but because they just don't like it. And and sometimes I do get given stuff that is really worn, and you can like see through it, and I don't use that, because like you said, I want it to still be good quality. So how do you feel about that? Because I know that you've got one of these in this pattern now. How do you feel about knowing that it was somebody's duvet? Do you care?
I go and buy clothes from charity shops that people have worn.
That's true. It's the same, isn't it?
It's going in my pants, It's there again, isn't it weird? Because I'm not sure I'd want to wear a second-hand pair of pants. But duvet, that doesn't bother me at all.
No.
Kind of shirt material, duvet, anything that's like, No, and I actually think the kind of people that are going to be looking for your product aren't going to mind. And in actual fact, for them, it's going to be a bigger incentive. It's a bigger reason to go for it, in the fact that, and you're right, there is so much material that actually is brand new that's thrown away. Even the little offcuts, when people have made dresses and whatever, because your panty liners are so small, you don't need masses, do you? It's just those little offcuts, and why not use them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So I should have said at the beginning for anybody to ask questions, but hopefully people would have if they wanted to. But I'm just looking at my questions that we've prepared. I've asked them all. So is there anything else that you feel the people watching should know about menopause, about taking care of yourself in that time, or anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I think probably I've shared my experience of what's going on with my body at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think, although my son is now a teenager, my issues there could be related to the fact that quite a traumatic birth, and so there has always been that kind of, I've been very aware of the fact that that was something I was possibly going to be looking at as I got older.
Oh, right.
And I do remember one of the kids at school saying to me, "What can't you do now you've got children?" And I went, "Star jumps and sneeze without preparing myself."
They probably didn't know what you were saying.
No,
What you were saying.
didn't have a clue what I was talking about, and I did not explain.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
probably went home and asked their
yeah,
mum.
yes, Miss can't do star jumps anymore. What's that? But it's the fact that everybody's different, and I think it's just about finding something that works for you. And these have definitely worked for me. And yet, actually, if you are using disposables and they're working for you and you're happy, perhaps try and look for those. Like, it was Natracare and TOTM that were the ones that I went towards, but there are more that are coming out. But what I did, I think I ordered one from you, because I'd ordered a couple of these other ones and they were really expensive and I didn't like them. So I ordered one to start with, and then I think I ordered about five or six more once I realised that I was actually going to get on with them. So
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true. I remember, and you ordering one, and other people have done it as well. Kind of order one to see how they get on, which is absolutely fair enough. When you can't see the product, you can't feel it, like what it's made of. Yeah, and then you came back for more, so I was like, oh, that's good. It's obviously working. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so while people are watching, I might just let people know what fabrics I've got going on at the moment, because as we've been talking about, they're all made from reclaimed materials. So Claire got my dog material, which I don't have anymore. I hope you're still loving those, Claire.
Absolutely. I've never had dog faces on my pants before, and now I've got them on my panty liners.
It's so funny. When I was making those ones, I was like, oh well, I want because what I say is to people is that the pattern side is where you collect like the blood or whatever you're collecting. So I needed to make it obvious that there was a pattern there. So I was placing the template directly onto the dog face to get the, rather than it being more white and a little bit of, well, what's that pattern? But I did not think about the fact that you then have a dog face in your knickers. Anyway, it's all good. You're loving it. So that's
absolutely
good. So yeah. I've got the pirates. I've got only 2 of those in the panty liner. I've got some nice flowers. I've got 3 of those. And I've got loads of the nautical. Sometimes there's a little sailor thing on it.
Oh, that's so cool.
Or sometimes there's a face of a woman, or an arm of a sailor girl on it.
I like that one. That's really good.
So yeah, and I've just updated the shop as well to actually put the pictures of those on the Etsy, because before it was a bit of like a lucky dip what people got, hence your dog surprise. Because it just takes so long to photograph things, and when it's changing so often, I just kind of say, oh well, you might not get what's in the photo, but I have put those on the Etsy now if people want to go and see those. So thank you so much, Claire, for being so honest with us. I'm sure that's
You're welcome.
resonated with some people who have been watching or will watch later. So yeah, thank you so much for your honesty. I think it really helps people to feel not alone in what they're going through, and just to know that, you know, it's working for you, and the others, or the other options you have tried as well, you know, what worked about them or what didn't. So
Yeah,
I really appreciate your time and
you're welcome.
and your sharing. So thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll leave it there. Thanks for joining, everybody. And if you've got any questions as a follow-up, then, you know, just ask me. And if I can't answer it, if it's to do with menopause, I'm sure I could ask Claire as well.
Totally. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, thanks so much, Claire. Have a great evening.
Okay.
Have a great evening, everybody.
Thank you, Emma. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.